Hi guys, welcome to another video. We are talking about 4 design patterns. In software engineering, a design pattern is a general repeatable solution to a commonly occurring problem in software design. A design pattern isn't a finished design that can be transformed directly into code. It's a description or template for how to solve a problem that can be used in many different situations. Design patterns can speed up the development process by providing tested, proven development paradigms. Effective software design requires considering issues that may not become visible until later in the implementation. Reusing design patterns help to prevent subtle issues that can cause major problems and improves code readability for coders and architects familiar with the patterns. Often, people only understand how to apply certain software design techniques to certain problems. These techniques are difficult to apply to a broader range of problems. Design patterns provide general solutions documented in a format that doesn't require a specific state to a particular problem. In addition, patterns allow developers to communicate using well-understood names for software interactions. Common design patterns can be improved over time, making them more robust than ad hoc designs. We have 3 categories for the design patterns: the creational design pattern, the structural design pattern, and behavioral design pattern. In the creational design pattern are all about class instantiation. This pattern can be further divided into class creation patterns and object creation patterns. While class creation patterns use inheritance effectively in the instantiation process, object creation patterns use delegation effectively to get the job done. We have the abstract factory, that is the first pattern or one of the patterns in this category. The abstract factory creates an instance of several families of classes. The builder separates object construction from its representation. The factory method creates an instance of several derived classes. The object pool avoids expensive acquisition and releases of software by recycling objects that are no longer in use. Prototype, a fully initialized instance to be copied or cloned. And Singleton, a class of which only a single instance can exist. The structural design patterns are all about class and object composition. Structural class creation patterns use inheritance to compose interface. Structural object patterns define ways to compose objects to obtain new functionality. And we have the adapter pattern that match interfaces of different classes. The next one, the bridge, separates an object interface from its implementation. The composite, a tree structure of simple and composite objects. The decorator adds responsibilities to objects dynamically. The Facade, a single class that represents an entire subsystem. The Flyweight, it's a fine-grained instance used for efficient shading. The next one, the private class data, restricts accessors or mutators access. And the last one, the proxy, it's an object representing another object. And we have the behavioral design patterns. These are all about class objects communication. Behavioral patterns are those patterns that are most especially concerned with communication between objects. We have the first one, it's the chain of responsibility, a way of passing a request between a chain of objects. The next one, the command, it encapsulates a command request as an object. The interpreter, a way to include language elements in a program. The iterator sequentially accesses the elements of a collection. The mediator defines simplified communication between classes. The Memento capture and restore an object's internal state. The Null object designed to act as a default value of an object. The observer, a way of notifying change to a number of classes. The next one, the state, alter an object behavior when its state changes. The next one, the strategy, encapsulates an algorithm inside a class. And the next one, the template method, defer the exact steps of an algorithm to a subclass. And the last one, the visitor, defines a new operation to a class without change. And the criticism, the concept of design patterns has been criticized by some in the field of computer science. We have 4 points in the criticism for design patterns. The first one is the targets, the wrong problem. The second one, the lacks formal foundation. The next one, the leads to indifferent solutions. And the last one, does not differ significantly from other abstractions. But the important thing to understand in the design pattern is that you make your code and your application more readable for other developers, and at the same time you improve your code or your application to making them more robust in your design, and maybe can speed up the development process by providing some tested and proven development paradigms, because these design patterns are useful in this part, or give you these advantages to use them. And you need to understand and apply these design patterns, but the important thing in the understanding is to have a good idea about where and what is the reason to use a particular pattern in a particular situation, because you don't apply these design patterns for every problem in your code. And that's it, guys. See you in the next video.